That's fine. Population focus and beautiful sites. Didn't even check out what the previous one was. But yeah, you can, like, rounding, sometimes the developers are like, oh, well, we'll use the round function, and sometimes they'll just forget, you know, sort of like, just say x equals the formula for whatever, however it depends on variable y. And then what ends up happening is that the computer ends up rounding, and the computer default rounding is not actually the round function, it rounds down by default. At least in most programming languages, it depends, right? But most of the time, default is rounding down. Oh, this is an interesting combo. We have very little money available, but lots of science available from our quests. No Euphorians, right? But we do have social capital. So that can be your money source. There's also limited teleportation. And we get offered space architects as well. Which space architects allows you to build things quicker. The only thing that's really missing from this is the late game tech allows you to build slipways in 1 month. Other than that, this is an interesting combination. Also manufactured luxury, which could help with money, as well as both of these. And actually, you know, with this sort of planetary projects, we might want to spam as many projects as possible, so... It's sad that we don't get... Oh, there's this one as well. It's sad that we don't get skill-up facilities, though. That would be the most amazing project. Oh, we'll try. That's a good way of making money. Social capital is quite strong. Wish that a car perk for making money out of energy was still there. That was a good perk. And it doesn't necessarily need the increased production, just the more money. You also have brain machine interfaces, which is an alternative to culture hubs. Kind of. And we could just pick them, right? Immediately. But I might want to pick this late game stuff instead. There's also the infrawave stations as well. Lots of available tech stuff. We don't have any science tech though, I'm realizing, so we might have a hard time getting to the late game. So we might want to be quite aggressive with how we make our science. Thankfully there's quite a few good ways of accelerating science via all of these like extra things we got. There's a forebear ruin. We also get lots of science from quests if we want to go that route. I think I might want to just colonize this area, to be honest. Check out the forebear ruin at the very least. Get void synthesis structures. I mean, sure, but what does that do, right? Not a whole lot. Okay. Oh yeah, we got this sort of... There's like a bunch of things, right? We got beautiful sites and population focus. Beautiful sites give you additional happiness if you can colonize those that are beautiful. So I want to look into making... Actually, like that, right? It's unfortunate that you can't make bots out of anything here. This one's kind of in the middle and sort of can't do much. I think at the very least I'll do the Skya world. That's a good start. I don't know which way we want to make bots. Like there are two options, right? We can also go this one. They're essentially exactly equivalent to each other. So in fact, if there is some ore available here or there, or here or here, then we can still do it. Do the thing, and there is, right? We can sneak in an ore connection, which can make the robot, which can make the food, which can make this planet, you know, work. So that's neat. So why don't I start with that? That's cheap to run, right? Yeah, only costs 1 upkeep. Alright, let's have a look at the tasks. Colonize 6 new planets. Sure, we'll do that. Get a remnant successful. How hard is that? Well, if I'm going to make ore there, we'll use 1 here. How am I going to use the other ore? Or we could just make 3 robots. I want to know what this is. More ore, like... At this point I kind of don't want to be making ore here is the thing, right? Because there's like lots of other things we could do. So maybe we can make it on the other... we kind of have to. I'm going to make this work. Though I could ignore it and build it here. This connection is going to be made nonetheless. I could ignore this forge world for a while. And make a bolt over here. And then the food can go in there, in this one also. Like the beautiful part about making a robot here is that it has so many more uses. And we get some two-way trades out of it, we get some water out of it, the robot can even go and make some food somewhere else. Perhaps over here, right? Well, it's maybe not that great. Still has lots of things for it to go, right? Although, just making 3 robots might be good too. I was thinking of how can I make a successful world, right? You also want to be a bit aggressive with the science. Maybe we just build some science here? Out of robots? Would that be a half bad thing to do? It could be... It's gonna be pretty awful to do that, actually. It's hard to tell what you want to build where, right? Because this also wants a chip. If we're gonna make humans there. That is a difficult situation. I think the robots are a thing I do all the time. So I guess we'll just go with that. Let's go ahead and have a look around and see if I can't figure out what I want to do where. Yeah, we can do a robot here. So I want to do that. There's 1 robot out of the 3. I'll do some more here, I think. Because that solves the robot problem. Getting a silver task done. And then, you know, build around this asteroid so we have money. And we can always, if so necessary, decide to do chips there. Which I'm not a huge fan of, but it turns out we have to do it. Yeah, that works. It's long connections, but it works. Lots of unemployment. Really not something I want to build straight away though. I want to build something cheaper. I can make lots of robots there apparently. I gotta do 3 more planet cells for the Dinder to get them up. The early game is always the difficult part. Gaia World's cheap to run, so go ahead and do so. If we can get our projects up, we will get lots of money. But before then, gotta sort of scrape by. Asteroids are a good way to do that. I already got a forge rolled up, so I want to do water there. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the issue here was that the other robot couldn't be used, right? But we could maybe get a quest to make a successful remnant planet, which would be quite good to get. We'd have to like explore and find another, right, to get that quest, I believe. And I can't do anything until next year anyway. It's kind of annoying that we have to pay the extra upkeep for 8 planets. I guess so be it, right? There's quite a few things we might be able to do here. Yeah, the issue here is using this robot. Because this wants to be a colony badly because of all the other non-colony stuff around it. And then this has no use for its robot. Still, because of how badly that wants to be a colony, I think it should become a colony then. We already have a swamp though. Is there anything we can get? Remnant? Swamp Earth like Arctic. We haven't done a primordial yet. So perhaps I should pick up the primordial then. What am I making in there? I don't know. Food? Food. Yeah, food. Okay. That gets us new tasks, right? Prosperous plants. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. How do we do it? I don't know. Maybe we build a lab for it. Getting some prosperous plants though might be difficult. Maybe not that difficult actually. Maybe not that difficult in actuality. Because we can make some goods and then use those and then that's fine. We could sort of solve things later if so desired because we have culture. Right, so we don't need to solve this straight away. Sort of leave it and build... what's the thing? Build goods and then get prosperous plants and then just do that. Use those. Like for example, I could build this colony here. And this allows me to connect all of this stuff in. Maybe... What am I able to build here then? Maybe build the goods over here. There are 2 locations I could send it to. You just need another successful partner, which that will do, right? If we like... Yeah, that's your first task complete. And here we just require second task complete. Okay, this is looking quite nice. Let's do these 2 because 10 food is so much. Invent 2 new technologies. We should be able to do that at some point in the future. There's also this, which just needs 1 more import. And, you know, the successful partners. But there is a way here, which involves making some chips. You want forgeables successful, right? We'll be able to make that happen. We have to make culture too, which I don't have to. We have to not forget. Like via culture hubs would probably be the best thing to do. And I would be able to use that to make things prosperous too. Just neat. So if I made some ore here, we can use that to make some chips. You know, that sort of like keeps the whole thing from collapsing in on itself. Not a wholly bad thing to do. I could make some water. You want imports though, not exports. would imagine in nanotech factories what you would want to put there. We've got the compact little empire here. Something like that. How are we going to make like a huge amount of science though? That's a real good question, isn't it? I don't know if the culture hub's actually such a good idea, to be honest. Like, they look good on paper, but the fact that they use up humans might be hard to deal with because of the amount of science we need. On the other hand, we can use the culture as a human as well in certain inputs. And there are quite a few inputs where we could use it quite well, so I think we'll go with them anyway. I think they're better than brain-machine interface in this particular instance, certainly. Because there's quite a few ways we can utilize them to... Actually, do I maybe want to do this? I think I want to do that. I'd be giving up on a culture hub if I use him though. So maybe not use this human. Are we cutting this off? Yeah, for a while. But you know, there's teleporters available in the late game. And I wanted to put this in. We're also exactly at 15, so that's a good sign to good moment to do this at. We get 7 science instead of 2 like this. Yeah. So now I can do fun stuff like make a culture hub, send in there to upgrade it. How much income did that do in total? So much, right? 44 to 53. We got 9 income out of that one culture hub. Let's take this asteroid for 30 and do another one of those. I went from 53 to what? 65. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. It's another 12 income. Forge World's successful though. You might have a bit of a difficult time making you successful, certainly, because you're kind of you're kind of stuck in there. I gotta ignore you. I can sort of like do this, right? And that's actually an actively bad thing to do. We might want to explore. Unfortunately, exploring right now means actually not being very efficient with time. Because, you know, these are going to show up in a couple of years. Maybe it's fine though. Let's just invent some techs. We could somehow get access to an upgraded Forge World, right? Okay. I mean, right now I can take a planet, right? Like, and also an idea is, you know, this integrated manufacturing over here. I don't think we want brain-machine interfaces because we have so many other things that will count as projects that we want to really build in like lots of places. Like, I have to remember that we have lots of ways to do that. So why don't I try to get a Forge World to successful? That should be... Yeah, it's not that one. Because so you get a robot and never be able to send it out. So that's not... It's not this one or this one either. So it's probably this one that I want to try to do it with. What am I going to be making here? Probably goods, I would imagine. I'll be able to send in some ore and some chips from there. Is this ore planet wants to have a human as input? While these human planets are here, the order is all wrong. power is off, right? Isn't it? I mean, if I can just... Oh, energy. That'll help me fix things, I think. Yeah, that'll help me fix things. So this matter transpose. Transpose is also be, you know, a way to do things, but we're fine the way we are. And then, you know, I could do goods or chips. I think it ought to be goods though, because of where we're located over here. Or ought it to be chips, actually? Yeah, you can always use energy as goods, right? And chips over here seems fine. And we'd have 2 outputs. That's the more important part, right? We'd have 2 inputs, so we'd be able to get it successful for the Silthid tech quirk thing. Go ahead and make that work in some way. Rather expensive to build, but we do get additional money from the Silthid tech. Not much, but a little bit. Just, you know, this is also making a little bit of money. And then probably, you know, make some food somewhere. This seems alright. I'd have to check though where I want to make what. Oh, that's another Forge World. There's lots of Forge Worlds. Just like an industrial sector or something? I don't know what I did. Oh, I'd bounce because we have energy available, right? Oh, it's just beautiful sites. It's like there's so many Forge Worlds. Oh, apparently it's just beautiful sites. This... Also, I get to have infrawave stations, which gives us 8 more science. And the Forge World that prospers. And more technologies, I suppose. We need to invent 2 technologies here, though, to proceed, which is sort of like a bit harsh because I don't really want many of these technologies. There's Enlightenment, which you could take. Isn't really all that interesting for me, I think. Because we want to connect Forge Worlds to places anyway. And we can get goods in large numbers anyway. With that, and I want that. This is a good tech to get though. How good is weather manipulation? Are there good targets for it? There's this one, right? There's that one too. I guess we take that then. We'll go with weather control. The other technology I might want. So, since we got some money going, why don't we try to make some good science somewhere? Unfortunately, I already have a robot lab, so I can't do 2 robots for science. There's chips available here, extra, which we could use. Yeah, we can't get any more science from missions right now. Like, that's why we got this huge amount of science in the early game. It's mostly missions. What I can do though is I can make Worlds also make chip. Ah, we can do it here. Build a lab there for 3 science. That's a cheap way to build a lab, I think, relatively speaking. Also get to use this effort for 24. I can just do this, and then... Oh, there you go, that's 3 more science. I wouldn't know, right? Additional chips are available everywhere, yeah, basically. There's quite a few more things to do there. Only 10 science is not all that much. So why did I do the regular scan there? I don't know. To get like a better foothold in the corner, but we have these like little things now, these little stations we can build to scan with, which sounds can be quite effective. The only thing is that they usually, you know, sort of obstruct things, so you got to be careful that you place them in the right location so that they don't obstruct things. Alright, why don't I make some more water there? I don't know what to use all this ore for, but I'll find a use for it later maybe. But I can use more water because, you know, make more science out of it. We can't connect it this year though. Can't afford to. Well, that's okay. I can do a regular scan too if I want to, not go too far out. I don't think I will go much further than here. Yeah, especially if we find plants like that. I'm like, maybe not. I mean, maybe it's okay to actually build another ore lab on this side as well, right? Build the double labs. So, can I build culture somewhere? Yeah, I can. I probably should. I said that, as long as it gets enough partners, it will pop prosperous now. As you know, we make lots more money by building these culture hubs. This one desperately wants to get one. Maybe also one here. I could make some extra biomass and water here and make that successful. It might be okay to do that now. Once the connection's cheap enough. The thing is, if I do this though, is it's like 7 income, right? But at the same time, we want to sort of use our time efficiently, and this is the perfect time to set up another mine here. I still got 67 money to play around with. And I wanted to do weather control, I believe. We could make some arid worlds happen. Also, we'd also need the Genesis cells first to do that though. Like, the idea would be to aridify this, and then we can do a two-way trade for that. And with Genesis cells, it'll produce more water and biomatter, which will allow this world to actually get 2 inputs. And it will also be able to get a good from here, even with the other tech. So no, look at double, triple whammy, right? We just get all the things for it. Now I could do an Arctic farm. I could also make it into an Earth-like and do an Earth-like farm immediately. Although it really doesn't matter too much, does it? Like, Earth-like farm makes 1 more food, sure, but like, will I ever use 4 food in here? Not really. And actually, Arc-like farm will immediately accept the biomass from like here or there. It'll take a bit of finagling to get it in there, but I think we'll just do the Arctic farm. I want to do that because I want to get this planet set up. Like 1 more tech for you and like a Forge World to Prosperous for you. Forge World to Prosperous, right? This one was fairly... Actually, why am I doing this? It doesn't actually accomplish anything. This one was fairly close to prosperous. Like, it involved the sort of setup over here, right? How are we we making enough water? Out of range, but there's lots of good plants here. I think we'll go ahead and sort of colonize over here. Do you want to make this an Earth-like? Not necessarily. There's no need to. There's like water for it, so it's actually bad to make it an Earth-like. It's better to leave it as an arid. So let's go ahead and build one of these. Quite efficient. Also, I just realized these are insta-build. Because we have the Silthid ability to build things quicker. That's kind of fun. Although I couldn't really use it there, but that's still neat, right? I can't make a jungle into an Earth-like though. It's the only planet you can't do it with. A bit disappointing, isn't it? Well, we can do an agro world here, which will allow me to produce like lots of humans. To do stuff with. Not sure what I wanted to do with all these humans. But they're here now. Well, one thing we can do is you can make a culture, right? And that can serve as an additional human, which are seemingly always lacking. And then this water can go in there and make you happy. Yeah, that works because we're slowly getting successful partners for you. As long as we get enough of them, then it'll work. That one will work, right? So why don't I make another bot over here? And then I guess we'll use this asteroid to be able to forward this connection. And then, you know, this connection should be made. What else can why? Well, we can make flexible fabrication happen. A bit unfortunate that we haven't taken it before taking the Silthid upgrade, right? But this should give us a Vittori task complete. And then repersecution should always get the other one as well. Because now this becomes prosperous. 3 prosperous plants. Excellent. Let's do that. And I guess we'll invent 3 new technologies as well. I mean, that's an easy one, right? There's 2 prosperous plants already. So we're starting to make some money, right? That's the good news. The bad news is the science is not all that great. We can make science still out of biomatter, I suppose. Biomatter and water. Is this one as well, right? But it's kind of obstructed. And also, you know, we don't have any chips here, so a little bit of an issue. Small issue. We can make ore into a lab here. It's quite a bit to get. There's not enough humans to do it though. We can get some here too to help. The only lab we don't have is biomatter, but the biomatter is rather precious right now. Maybe we can do it up here somehow, right? But I don't know how we're gonna get the goods for it. Well, anyway, let's sort of put this in here. Exactly out of money like this? Well, can take an asteroid. And then, I suppose, take this other one. Got 3 signs here. Yeah, the hard part is getting to those late game techs. It's proving to be quite a tricky challenge. And there's your prospect plant for the Danger tech. And that gives us cheaper Genesis cells. But yeah, even with all the tech discounts, right, the science we've got is not all that good. Because I would love to have creative AI here, but the thing like the AI research, we don't. Another lab we could build is bacteria, right? Another lab for biomatter as well. I would need to get water though, and that needs to go from here, so we need to wait until we can do that. Also, we're at 31 and 32, right? So maybe a good idea to save some money. Also, maybe a good idea to scan for some, see if we can't find some more what's the word? Ruins? Although, can we get money from ruins at all? I don't think we can because of the races we've got. We can get science from ruins. I suppose that would be a way to do it. We can't get any money from ruins, so we should want to really connect the things we have. But, you know, there's quite a few techs that'll help with that, actually, that we can get. Although, if I upgrade you, you'll send your biomatter in there. Isn't that annoying, isn't it? Well, I guess we won't go for the biomatter lab there. We have some available here, too, so... we can go for a biomatter lab over here, in this area. Get some additional stuff, then it would be okay. Kind of depends, right? We could turn this into an arid, and then like Gaia world this. That would work. There's lots of happy plants there. The ruins is like a percentage of your income. It depends on the event. Like the warehouses, I believe the most. It's like 120 something percent. Yeah, it depends on which one it is. There's also a few neutral ones that can give you money, I believe. For example, here, you know, but you know, we would need to spend 20 and then 8 and then another 20 to even get there. And I don't think we'll get that money back, given that we've only got 79 income. And it's going to go down if I found a colony, right? So this one, maybe not so much. I mean, there's a connection there, right? But I can't make it because we don't have a good for it yet. But if we do get the good, then I will make it afterwards. Right, so we could get like if we get teleporters, we can get a robot, make it good, get a good into there, and then send it. And that does a bunch of things and makes us happy and all that sort of, all that jazz. Although the robot might need to go into here instead. So we might need to connect, you know, 2 teleporters this direction, make goods in there instead. Don't know where the other robot's going to come from. We're lacking some robots, basically, is the point here. I mean, I could make some, right? I also grab one from all the way over there into there. Should be kind of the long teleporter. It's possible to do that, though. It's definitely possible. Scratching a bit to figure out what I want to do. I think we want to sort of skip, though, because I don't want to lose money. 32 income loss is a bit much. So, you know, that means sort of skip, right? We'll use all these asteroids. We'll try to somewhat use our time. There's nothing much I can build, basically, here. There's no connections I can make. And if I add in another planet, we'll sort of choke on the income. Since this connection still... There's a few, right? There's not terribly many, but there's a few you can still make. That would still do something at the very least. Also, I realized, like, we made a good here that we sent there. That should have been sent the other way, because we have a bot there as well that can make a good, send it there. I think I didn't know about the existence of the planet before we had this one, so I suppose it works fine like this. Alright. Where's my Genesis cells? Because that's really what I wanted. Because this will make lots of money. Look at that, 13 more money. Yeah, the idea was to make biomatter there. I guess that'll work. Oh, it's already sending us biomatter there. Okay, then this idea is fine. Then it's fine. We are fine. This is fine. Range, right. Even in that one location, it's already, you know, doing amazing things. Even if it's just the one. That was still pretty nice. Just in general, we can make some science with it, right? Although it's very expensive science because these teleporters are going to be 50, so about that, right? I mean, it'll also increase the income of these planets, right? At least the ones that are sending their stuff somewhere useful. It's not all bad. So you can make a culture hub, I guess. But I need to be careful because I need a spare human for this one as well. Like I might need another colony if I do that. There's one here too though, so I guess we can do this. Because I'd love to get the extra income, right? I think we'll still connect here. This is more income this way, but this way we can maybe get this one upgraded fairly reasonably quick. Just one teleporter and then it'll become prosperous. So yeah, the goal is to get to teleporters now, basically. Like there's like 4 things I wouldn't really want, 3 things I really want, and then one optional one. So we've got like 8 years of science, which is 120 something. We've got 135 to get, so this is a problem. Right? You get 120 science, but 135 required, so we'd need more. So one way to do that is to sort of like build. Like getting to 18 science means getting these teleporters, I believe, about a year earlier. If I'm not mistaken, twice 18 is 36 plus 7 is 43. So we just have to connect in like one little thing and then, you know, we got there. The thing is, how? Not really the answer, is it? Like the problem is getting like some kind of value, which I'm not really finding. Like I could try to expand, but the thing is, if I do, then we get to like our income gets to decline by so much. And this also is very expensive, actually. There's 20. Oh my gosh, 20 upkeep for that. Well, I mean, we paid it. We can't undo it now. I mean, it'll become a lot better, though. That's the thing. Like, it'll use up more biomatter. Also, I just realized just send its person in there. I really didn't want it to do that because now we don't have another person for this biomatter, so we get the same little annoying problem here too, with no recourse for it. And so be it, I guess. I mean, this is a good one to do though, because it'll... I want to make biomatter or water there. That's biomatter. And then do I want to go over 32? That's a real hard question. So if I do, we won't be able to make many teleporters. But I guess I do, because we want to be able to get the science to make the teleporters anyway. So yeah, look at that income decline, right? We went from like 100 income to like 30, which is just like, why? I think we skipped this one then. Otherwise I just won't have the money to do anything. This was sort of the thing I was intending to build. I mean, it's still only at 47, but... we can get spiritual growth too. Will that help? We get 18 times 7. 8 by 7, 56. 126 plus 23, 149. Yeah, then we would need another 20 to get these things. I really would like universal harmony, it'll help a lot. I think it'll help more than this. How much will this help? That is a fair amount, it's 19, but it's not all that much. I think universal harmony will help more. Teleportation we might not want yet because these things cost 50 a piece, so... we might want the extra culture first so that we can get more money out of this mess. This one is probably worth doing. Yeah, that's good. 53 income here. $45 for that. And that by itself sort of counts, I suppose, right? I wouldn't know. I can make 2 bots there, but there's no point to that. There should be all this extra stuff available that we can like, send in using teleporters, but right. The point is expanding the empire might actually be a bad idea. We might have actually wanted to just skip 3 years, right, and then build teleporters. That might have been a better thing, but that kind of feels like it's not the right choice. But it might have been the actual good choice. It's rude, but that's true. You could even upgrade, but there's no point to it. If the teleporters were cheaper, you know, or we had loads of money, then you know that'd be fine. But that's the thing with this combination of races; it makes very little money because you don't get any money from your quests, like much at all. So you gotta sort of use what you have. I don't think I want that. It's like goods needed in all sorts of places, right? This is a really nice source of them, but it needs connections of other things to start working. But I do get to unlock additional culture. Also get to build 5 more plants if I want them. Which ones? I don't know. And I could build one more wave station, I suppose. You could do something for me, I guess. And this is a beautiful sights world, so we do get happiness if we manage to get it. And there's... I don't know if I can get it food, but I can certainly get it successful, right? So it needs goods too. Might be hard to do, actually. It's quite far away from what we've got, but it's the only way we can connect this in. Well, the other way would be to do this, right? But that's neither here nor there either. I mean, 8 more science, right? 30 cash, I suppose. But first, I think this is the best way to make money. I would imagine. So we get this stuff, right? Flexible fabrication available. Yeah, maybe I should have used that a bit more, but we get universal harmony. So that should help. There's like one more culture here as well. Yeah, that should all help. I think you're going to be sending yours here, so we have a third input. Trying to use this culture as inputs, basically, right? Not necessarily paying too much attention to the happiness we get. Maybe that's inefficient in some ways, but I think it's more important to sort of maximize the money we can get. 86 though, it's not bad. No way of getting more goods, right? I sort of missed this one. I could have gotten it earlier. Culture hub tech upgrade? What do you mean by culture hub tech? Oh, you mean like how you can know what the money is? Well, I don't really calculate it quickly. I just sort of like use it. But it's like you get 35% from this, and you get, well, the culture hub itself doesn't give you anything because you lose the human, right? So you just get 4 plus 35%. You can check it here too, right? You can see what it does. This one's 17. It's got 3 humans sending out, so it would normally be 8, but now it gets an extra for 12 and then 35%. 3.5 times 1.2. Ends up rounding up to 5. I think. That would round down to 4. I'm not sure where the 5th income is coming from. Probably from a connection with a prosperous plant. There we go, this one. Giving it 1 more income. This is number 17. Because if you send something to prosperous, it tends to give you 5 instead of 4 on a tough. To be exact, it's 5.2 rounded down to 5 from successful to prosperous. Well, this one's not successful, so I'm not sure where the other income's coming from. It's a mystery. Because this is nice, because now I can... There's like so many of these. I can like choose which one I want. Well, if I build this one, then it can send its ore into there as well. Because this one's going to be ore. wish there was more jungle, right? And there really isn't. So this one's going to be bots. And then we get to 39, which is excellent. No more planets, right? So now I can build this repurposing. And we can send in culture somewhere. It doesn't really matter too much though. We can even build a hub as well. That's another 10 income. Still worth building for just the income, right? We've got 4 more years to go, so it costs 15, makes 10. So it'll make us 25 over the course of the rest of the game. Not so much that connection though. This connection is not worth it unless we can upgrade something with it. One more tech. Well, next year we get the teleporters, right? I want to then sort of just like bail for the rest of the year, perhaps. Although I should probably save this and try to get it as high as possible, so we can get the money from this. Because I don't think we get to 52. I mean, it might be either dissemination or luxury, right? If we can get it 1 year earlier, it might be worth getting. Though I don't think so necessarily. So we might want to scout a bit and see if we can't get more ruins or something. I could like output this, right? Like if we can build the teleport into a ruin, I don't know if it's worth doing though. I guess it's not worth doing these. Because you spend more money on them than you're likely to get back anyway. And we can't go further than this because it would just tank the income too much. At this point it would tank it too much. So the best way to go ahead is to sort of get rid of this half year. We can't really do much. I have to be careful that we might want to build things we wanted to build anyway, like for example this Genesis project, for example. If we want to build more Genesis projects, for we could get some science, right, by building a Genesis project, for example, here. So yeah, you would want another import, wouldn't you? Another connection to someone. This one though could probably use like an output all the way over here. Because it has 2 inputs, it has like 2 partners already. It'll get a 3rd partner, but it could use water for that, say this one. Outputting like science next year, each science is going to turn into a total of 6 science. So we got 52. How much do we have now? 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times 72 plus 34, 106. So it's the difference between 106 science and, I don't know, 118 with 2 teleporters. Which that, you know, that wouldn't get us 3 techs from here. Right, for that you need 135. But it would allow me to take, say machine sentience. Which, how good is machine sentience? Actually quite good. There's like a robot over here, spare. Actually 2. There's a robot over there, spare. Sure, this robot's needed here, so we should be a bit careful about it. But there's like 3 robots over there, so yeah, we can send robots into various places. Would I be able to pick it up now? No, because that would delay the teleporters by another year. So that's a big nope. Because I really want my teleporters now. Still, it might be a good idea to still output a little bit of extra science. Now, where we would do that is the main question then. Well, I suppose this one will want to go into there at some point. So I think it's this one that I want to upgrade. Although, wait, you make more money if I upgrade you. You make more money, right? Yeah, you make 4 money. Because it's you then. The reason why it's making 4 money is because it's outputting water into these 2 planets, which is making 10 money out of. And then, you know, 35% of that is 4. So that's where that's coming from. Okay, I didn't get the teleportation. Now these cost 50 to build, which is the hard part. Food producing planets to prosperous. Science output by 8 and 10 units. We can't just do one of these. I don't know which way we want to do that though. I think the main problem will be making good use out of things, right? So I think we'll go ahead and take the food plants to prosperous, perhaps. I don't think I want to make 8 science. It's a bit too much. These things cost 50, right? So we can only build 2 before having to take this. I'm gonna want to make the money from it bigger before I take it. So we want to build the ones that make the most money first. I think it's this one that'll make us very high amounts of money. I want to be careful that I build it so that we get short connections. No. This one. The second one costs 0, so that's good. And we have to put it like right in there. Okay, that'll work. That creates a good. Getting a 6 income. And then the second best one we can probably get is, I'd like to get a chip in there as well. And then we can output a good to upgrade it to successful. And we can even do repurposing if I want to get, you know, a bot out of it as well. I don't really know what to use it for though. Now the idea would be to get 67 here, from which I can build another teleporter, right? So which one makes the most money right now? Like I would imagine that getting you upgraded would be quite good. So we'd also get a culture for that, which I could send somewhere, right? And next year we could get those extra few points of science. Yeah, that makes 2 prosperous plants. Although none of them are food producing, right? So that's a bit of a disappointment, but we can also send a culture somewhere. Would I want to send it in here? Maybe. And it gives you another trading partner, which is like, yeah, that's... Yeah, it's another 7 income right there. Okay, so we get 125 income now. And also, you know, lots of prosperous plants. This is always a good sign. Next year, I think. Okay. So now we can get 4 or 5, 75 science right now, the way it is. So that's quite good enough to take machine sentience at this point. We would get manufactured luxury last. Yeah, that makes 15 income instantly. The thing I have to be careful about is where's what's going to be sent. Because these things like send their robots out everywhere. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Not in there! Wrong way! Right? There's one going from here to there and one going from there to there. I think it's fine. Alright, so now what next? There's that one, there's that one. Which those would probably be the next correct investment to make. Huh, should I have maybe sent the culture into the other direction? Hold on. Can we undo that? So where did I send it? I sent it here. I don't think I want to do that. You just need... No, you need another partner as well. That's the hard part. Can I... Yeah, like I want to also send in something here, but maybe we just send an ore in there and then we'll be fine. It's kind of difficult to know what to do, right? It's like if I don't send in the ore, then what do we do then, right? So we need another human output, which this one desperately wants one. Which is a good idea, I think. Also, you know, I would be able to send this back if I wanted to, but that would preclude the building of another teleporter this year. It would make how much money? 7 back. Not really worth it. So at this point, we've got 36 science. Which that not be enough. So I ought to make it a little bit more. Now it's 41 science. Which are still off by a little bit, but this should work. This should work almost exactly. It depends a bit on what this has, so we should check that out next. Well, we can do that. The beautiful part is I can just connect in another teleporter. More teleporters. Over here. It needs to be kind of exactly in the right spot. Otherwise it won't reach. And this will upgrade this to start producing culture, I suppose. It will also allow me to connect to here. We can build the Elysium project. Wait, is that worth getting? Because it produces 2 culture. Instead of manufactured luxury. I mean, manufactured luxury just makes us lots of happiness in like loads of places, right? Building Elysium projects right now, like I haven't... Like, can we get some, right? That's the main question. I'm hard pressed to find locations where we can actually even build one. Maybe over here it'll need a chip. You can get that from there, but you know, that cuts off the... Nah, maybe not like this and then that. It'll be a bit finagly, but it'll be doable to make a good into here or a chip into there. It'll have a biomass, it'll have a water. It won't have ore, but there's some here. It'll also be, it'll be finicky, right? It'll require 2 teleporters. It'll require an upgrade there. Do we have the money for that? Almost, but that would like require stopping like all of the other things we're doing, like for example this. It wouldn't be worth it, basically, is the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, we don't do it. The science though is nice, because that means we don't have to build, we don't have to make another science connection. Otherwise, we would have had to make another science connection. We'd be 2 science short. All right, so I can send a culture in there to sort of like fix your 8 happiness. Sort of mind control you with culture, which is nice. You don't have to worry about this thing being, you know, in shambles. There's that connection, but it's horribly expensive, so we won't do it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and fix this one up too. It's a bit... There's no more space. There's too many teleporters in there. All right. Sure. So yeah, the thing is it wants imports, right? We can give it some imports and then it'll pop immediately. So that's okay. Final year, I suppose? Yeah, a final year. We still have to do the Denner mission too, but I think this order is better. Gotta fix the things, right? 2 food producers. What are even our food producers? This one, right? It's also 8% to have you had here. Might be a decent idea to go for that first then. There's like so many things we might want. We do like only 2 teleporters still though. Because the connections are costing us 5 as well. I don't think we can do this mission. 12% pass shortages too. Some various places with which don't have culture yet, I suppose. And so manufactured luxury will make lots of luxury everywhere, which can send it to all these colonies. You know, if we had one more year, then we'd have some money now with that luxury. I mean, that made a bunch of happiness too. And every luxury is 2 happiness as well. So we get like 1 more connection plus upgrade, right? Or 1 more connection. There's this one here, which will make more culture if I do connect it in. Unfortunately, I can't upgrade it. I think it's the best connection we can do, if we can afford it, that is. It's too far away, isn't it? Like all the way there. It's like no other opportunity to get goods. We could do this one too. Sort of the same sort of thing, right? It's gonna have a similar result. Although, can we afford it? Squeak. Yes, very barely. Okay. No connection here though, even though we would be able to do it. Still okay. And then I guess that doesn't matter. Oh, that does matter. There was a pass shortage in here. So that helps. If we can fix the pass shortage, I'm fine with it. We're still missing out on these like 2 robots. We could have also done void synthesis, I suppose, instead of some of these teleporters. But then again, you know, the teleporters are better because they also consume a resource. Void synthesis structures cost 40 instead of 50, so it does save you a slight bit of money. But they also take more time to build, right? So like 2 months, right? So teleporters take us like 0 months to build, so I guess it didn't really matter for the time per perspective though, because we're out of money all the time. No, 1 failed mission, but there's an idling water planet below a robotech lab. Oh, this one? Yeah, that's okay. The robotech lab. I can't. This is such a messy thing. Oh, here's the robotech lab. This one, you say this one has been. It's fine. It's receiving culture, so it doesn't get its 3% penalty anymore. You have 9% pass shortages still. One of which was here, but that one's been sold. I should have been paying more close attention to it, I suppose, because we didn't end up managing to solve most of it. We ended up, you know, not too high on money in the end. Mostly because we didn't have any missions that gave us money, right? To give us money, and because I went with this biometal lab, which maybe I shouldn't have done. There's like quite a few planets that had to struggle though. Especially here in the center, right, where everything sort of... You know, it works now, with the addition of about 10 teleporters, but I think we could get an okay score though still. With 100, yeah, 22k. Not taking the task would have been meant 23k or so. That's okay. It's about average. I think it's about average. Below average for the Vittori though, but we didn't get any science tech, so without science tech that's quite good.